All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Nagano Lean Body Tonic and seeing if it has any connection to some really interesting osteoarthritis research we came across.
Yeah, we've got this YouTube review that's all about Nagano, and then we've got a scientific paper that really gets into how the immune system affects joint health.
Right, and at first glance,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think those two things would have anything to do with one another.
Exactly, but that's what we're here to find out.
So this Nagano Tonic,
hmm
what's the deal with it?
Well, the review makes it sound pretty amazing, like this powerful drink that can help you lose weight, detoxify your liver, and even feel younger.
Oh, wow. And they say it's super easy to use.
Yeah, you just mix a scoop of it into whatever you're drinking every morning.
So like a magic elixir. Just add water and poof.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Remember, we always have to be careful about these kinds of claims. Supplements can be helpful, but they're not miracle cures.
For sure, for sure. But still, the ingredients in this Nagano Tonic, they sound pretty interesting. Like they might actually do something.
Yeah, there are definitely some intriguing ones in there.
Like what?
Well, there's Panax ginseng, which has been used for centuries in traditional medicine. It's supposed to be great for boosting energy and vitality.
Huh. I think I've heard of that.
And then there's camu camu, which is
No.
this superfruit that's packed with vitamin C.
Kamu.
And EGCG from green tea,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people believe can help speed up your metabolism.
Okay, so some pretty well-known ingredients.
Right. But it's important to remember that just because an ingredient has certain properties on its own
Mm-mm.
doesn't necessarily mean it'll have the same effect when it's part of a mix like this.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all about how they interact with each other.
Exactly.
And that's something we just don't know from this review. We need more information. So we've talked about the Nagano Tonic. Now let's dig into that osteoarthritis research. I'm really curious to see how it all ties together.
Yeah, this paper is fascinating. It looks at a protein called PDL1.
PDL1.
Yeah, it's part of the immune system. And
Yeah.
basically, it acts like a brake pedal to keep our immune cells from going haywire.
So it stops them from overreacting.
Exactly. It prevents them from attacking our own tissues.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the connection to osteoarthritis?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. The researchers found that when they blocked PDL1 in mice, it actually made their osteoarthritis worse.
Really? That's surprising. You'd think that suppressing the immune system would help with inflammation.
Right. But it seems like it's not that simple.
So what's going on there?
It has to do with these cells called macrophages.
Macrophages.
Yeah. They're like the first responders of the immune system.
Ah.
They rush to the site of any injury or damage to clean things up and start the repair process.
So they're like the cleanup crew,
Exactly.
but sometimes
Yeah.
they get a little carried away.
Yeah, their response can go overboard, and that leads to chronic inflammation.
So it's like having a cleanup crew that's a little too enthusiastic
Ah,
and ends up causing more damage than good.
that's a great way to put it.
So what does this have to do with PDL1?
Well, in the study, when they blocked PDL1 specifically in these macrophages, the macrophages started producing way more inflammatory molecules,
Like what?
like IL-6 and TNF-alpha.
Those sound familiar.
Yeah, they're like distress signals that amplify the inflammatory response, and they contribute to the breakdown of cartilage in the joints.
So blocking PDL1 made the macrophages go into overdrive,
Exactly.
and that made the osteoarthritis worse.
Okay. I think I'm starting to see the connection here. It's not just about suppressing the immune system as a whole.
Right.
It's about regulating the activity of these specific macrophages,
Precisely.
making sure they're doing their job.
But not going overboard.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So where does Nagano Lean Body Tonic fit into all of this?
Okay, so we've got this Nagano Tonic, and some of the ingredients,
Yeah.
like ginseng,
Oh.
have anti-inflammatory properties.
Right. All right.
And we've got this research that says we need to be really careful about how we manage macrophages
Mm-hmm.
and those inflammatory signals to help with osteoarthritis.
Yep.
So is there a connection here? Could some of the ingredients in Nagano actually be influencing how those macrophages behave?
Well, it's definitely possible. The research we looked at didn't specifically test Nagano Tonic, but it does raise some interesting questions.
Like what?
Well, remember we talked about Panax ginseng and its anti-inflammatory effects.
Uh-huh.
There are some studies that suggest ginseng could actually influence the activity of macrophages and help keep them from causing too much inflammation.
So it's not about blocking PDL1 directly.
Yeah.
Like they did in the study. It's more about kind of nudging those macrophages
Yeah.
towards a more balanced response. So it's like, instead of just shutting down the entire immune system, you're giving those macrophages a little guidance. so they can do their job
Hmm.
without going overboard.
That's a great way to think about it.
So, could incorporating something like Nagano
Yeah.
into a healthy lifestyle
Mm.
actually be helpful for managing osteoarthritis?
Well, we need more research to say for
Hmm.
sure, but
Or-
it's certainly an intriguing idea.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if we could combine a healthy diet, regular exercise, and targeted supplements like Nagano, could we really make a difference in how we approach joint health?
It's definitely something to think about.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. We started with the Japanese tonic
Hmm.
and ended up talking about the complexities of the immune system.
Yeah. It's amazing how these things connect.
If you're interested in learning more about Nagano Lean Body Tonic, you can check out their official website. We've included a link in the show notes.
Mm.
And as always, keep those brains buzzing. We'll catch you in our next deep dive.